Welcome to Resource PNG. Since entering the PNG market through the acquisition of Interoil's midstream and downstream business in June 2014, PUMA Energy has continued to make inroads in diversifying its business in the country. Recently, the company introduced its own LP gas product to the market, direct from its Napa Napa refinery in Port Moresby. This week, the company again marked another achievement with the commissioning of brand new tanks at Napa Napa, aimed at increasing the capacity to meet the growing demand for its petroleum and energy products in Papua New Guinea. Since acquiring Interoil Corporation's downstream business in Papua New Guinea in June 2014, PUMA Energy has continued its focus on ongoing growth and investment within the region. Through the deal, PUMA Energy acquired Interoil's midstream and downstream operations, which included the Napa Napa refinery in Port Moresby. The 9th of March 2016 marked another milestone for PUMA Energy, with the company commissioning brand new tanks at its Napa Napa refinery. Present to witness the occasion was Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, who spoke of the importance of investors in Papua New Guinea making a difference in country.
A few years back, when PUMA bought Interoil and its operations at the refinery here, I met the gentleman who was the principal shareholder of Trafigura, the parent company of PUMA, who is no longer with us today. Cloyd Dufresne was a very famous and very driven person. And to come here today and witness what he said that he will do and continue to invest in Papua New Guinea because he believed in the future of the country. Although he is not with us today, I am very pleased to see that the CEO of PUMA and all the other executives of Trafigura are able to continue his dream. I'm even more pleased that some of the dreams like setting up the LPG gas plant line and of course the bitumen business, those are businesses that complement each other, and he knew that they are of great value to nation building. And I know that they will continue to grow because our country is developing very fast. The expansion program at Napa Napa here is just the beginning. I know PUMA and its executives and the parent company will continue to work closely with government so that we can be able to provide energy security for our nation. It is important that we are able to use all the storage facilities and the refinery that will be able to secure the energy requirements of the nation.
I would say it's with a lot of pride that I can see all the employees coming here, showing that PNG is possible and that the country can move forward like we are doing at our scale. I think you're a good example of what is happening.
And I know that the future for Papua New Guinea and of course our investors like PUMA is very bright. Our nation's economy grew by 9.2% last year. It's only because our government has deliberately is investing in infrastructure and other key sectors of our economy so that it can continue to provide employment for Papua New Guineans. And investors like PUMA and many others who are coming to invest in Papua New Guinea have confidence in Papua New Guinea. We Papua New Guineans must have confidence in ourselves and our country. Our policies in government is achieving many of the things that we have dreamt of in the past. Our responsibility as government is to create an investment climate that is stable for our investors. Our tax regimes, our government policies, our monetary policies, our fiscal policies must be stable so that investors have the confidence that their investment is safe, and with safety of their investments they can get good returns out of PNG as well. So I'm pleased to be here today to officially open this expanded refinery for our nation. I'm certain that PUMA will continue to be a very strong partner for Papua New Guinea, and we look forward to working closely with them into the future. As I said earlier, we have a great country. Our country is developing very, very fast. We need to continue to maintain that focus. Yes, there will be challenges, but challenges can be overcome if we continue to work together. Papua New Guineans, our businesses, and our government working together. That is the challenge that we have before us.
PUMA's planned investments in Papua New Guinea are aimed at transforming the country into a petroleum hub for the wider Pacific region. This in itself will bring significant benefits to the country in terms of upskilling and jobs for Papua New Guineans, improved self-sufficiency of supply of stock in country, value-added activities such as refining and bunkering that will all have positive implications for the country.
Today we have a situation where the global commodity prices are depressed. Not so long ago we had $120 per barrel for oil. Today it's around $40. That's a huge drop, meaning that revenue coming to our country has dropped on a similar scale. But that does not mean that we have to stop everything that we are doing and wait for the oil prices to go back. We must continue on the programs that we have. We must make sure our people have employment. We must make sure food is on the table for our people. We must make sure our kids go to school. We must make sure our people receive health services and other services they truly deserve. And that is why investors like PUMA, investors that are investing in not only oil and gas sector, but many other sectors in our economy, must be given the confidence that they deserve, that Papua New Guinea has a bright future.
The investments we are doing in the refinery is an important step. It's not the last one, but it's a first step in a I hope, a longer way in the development of the site. And for me, this day is one of pride and one of this event which we will remember all our lives. So thank you very much for all of you. And thanks for coming and representing us.
Don't go away. After the break, we take a look at news within the resource sector. That's coming up on Resource PNG. Welcome back. You're watching Resource PNG. Time now to take a look at what's been making headlines in the resource sector in this week's Resource News. The PNG Mineral Resource Authority has hit back at Indochine Mining Limited over what it claimed was erroneous reporting by the company to the Australian Stock Exchange regarding the decision to refuse an extension to former exploration license 1093 Mount Kare. In its announcement to the Australian Stock Exchange, Indochine expressed their disappointment in not having EL 1093 extended through a refusal by Mining Minister Byron Chan to grant an extension. The company claimed that as a consequence, it had commenced proceedings in PNG's National Court seeking a judicial review of the minister's decision. However, in responding, the MRA issued a statement saying the decision by Minister Chan in refusing to grant an extension had been reached following failure by Indochine in addressing issues relating to EL 1093, among which addressing concerns raised by landowners. Bank South Pacific announced its full-year results for 2015. The group recorded a consolidated operating profit after tax of 531.9 million kina, up 4.8% on 2014 results. Despite a slowdown in the PNG economy in 2015, overall, the bank had done better than its competitors, with the group recording an increase in revenue, largely on the back of its bank loans, as well as additional income from the new asset finance operations in PNG and Fiji, and the acquisition of Westpac's Pacific branches in Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands and the Solomon Islands. Sir Costas says significant loan portfolio growth and a continuing and disciplined cost containment strategy has allowed BSP to largely mitigate the impact of these challenges, with the bank looking forward to another successful year in 2016.
BSP made a net profit after tax of 532 million kina. It represented about a 5% increase on the prior year. PNG was pretty comparable, around the 454 million mark, comparable to the 2014 result. The other markets contributed quite positively. Cook Islands, Samoa, Tonga, as well as Fiji and Solomons, all were positive. Fiji improved their profit probably by around about 30%, and that was undertaken at a time that they were also undertaking their core system upgrade, their Project Best, which was implemented in September. Therefore, all parts of the business contributed strongly in what was a somewhat difficult time within the market.
Following the spill on Wednesday, concerns from the locals have grown, especially because the slurry has seeped into the water that they use for drinking and cooking. What frightened them the most is that the creek where the burst happened is near a river.
More than 2,000 to 3,000 man married live in the water and flow the water, bike water number Ramu number Solwara Street.
Locals say they have raised the alarm and warned the mine officials of the leakages on this 135 kilometers pipeline on Sunday last weekend. No immediate action was taken until it burst on Wednesday. The people are now worried for their safety. They are also now questioning the company's ability to respond adequately to such environmental emergencies. They are calling for an independent body to determine if their rivers are safe.
Me not believe in the monitoring system. Why? Because Sunday this issue come up. Or reporting finish. Line of plastic on reporting this issue come Monday. Or line of sign only come maintenance team come looking finish. Only go to I'm looking something. You go Tuesday. You go Wednesday. I'm looking 2 days after that now. And people are sending come up.
The Madang Provincial Disaster Coordinator Rudolf Mongali made a similar pitch, stating that the mine has to take responsibility and address the situation immediately.
The management of the MCC to look into this situation seriously and try to support the communities who are affected now by this explosion of the pipeline and with the acid being thrown out, which will affect the lives of the community here. So I'm appealing to them. If they have any queries, they may as well come to my office, the Provincial Disaster Office, and we can coordinate and we find solution that we can assist the communities.
Rachel Shise, National MTV News, Madang.
This traditional gathering at the Potslaka government station on Lear Island yesterday marked the end of a 6-year conflict between the Nimamar local level government and Lamala, the association representing Lear mine landowners. It brought together people from the 6 landowner clans on the island who have been affected by a conflict that has dragged on for 6 years. The landowners and its government agreed and created the Caving Accord principle, a stepping stone that laid this issue to rest.
What you are witnessing here today is a token of appreciation, a goodwill handshake to end the past differences.
It's been 6 years since the conflict arose between the landowners and the local level government here over mining benefits derived from mining operations on the island. Those feeling the pinch of this conflict are the people in the village. Women and youths claim to have been marginalized in most of the decision-making processes.
Something I come up in trauma. Life mama, especially now, youths.
Over the last 20 years, there's been a steady economic growth driven by mining investments here. But most people here say their lives could have been more better if there were not any ongoing disagreements between their local leaders over the years. While the reconciliation yesterday puts an end to the 6-year-old conflict, many people remained skeptical about the outcome of the event that is expected to improve the life of those who have given up their customary land in the name of development. Edwin Fidelis on Lear Island, National MTV News.
You're watching Resource PNG. Coming up next, Kula Gold and their outlook for 2016. Welcome back. At the 2015 Mining and Petroleum Conference, Resource PNG had the opportunity to speak with Stuart Pether from Kula Gold regarding their operations in PNG. The Woodlark Island project looks set to revive mining in Milne Bay Province once again. We're joined by Stuart Pether from Kula Gold. Stuart, thank you so much for joining us on Resource PNG.
For having us.
For the benefit of our viewers that don't know much about the Kula Gold and the Woodlark Island project, can you just briefly explain the project for us?
Yeah, well, Kula Gold is an ASX listed company, and it is the 100% owner of the Woodlark Mining Limited, which is a PNG company, of which I'm a director. And that owns the Woodlark Island Gold Project, which is an island about 250 kilometres off the east coast of Papua New Guinea, out from Alatau. It's an advanced development project. We've spent over $100 million over the last 10 years defining 2 million ounces of resource and about 766,000 ounces of reserves, having completed a bankable feasibility study. We've got it's a really great operating environment, and it's wonderful having the support of the Woodlark people.
You mentioned the Woodlark people. How close is the company towards the community, and do you have any programs in place that benefits the local community on Woodlark Island?
Yeah, you know, we have a very good relationship with the Woodlark people, and that's comes from a lot of effort over the last 10 years particularly. We do a lot of training of the Woodlark people to be machinery operators, drill operators, survey technicians. We've also invested quite heavily in the community with support of educational programs, supporting some of the women's groups and youth. And one of the key, we do run a health clinic and provide extended health services to not only our employees but the wider community. Some of the services at Woodlark are fairly basic, but we do have a good working relationship with the Milne Bay Health Association. And probably the other key thing that we are very close to the Woodlark community is that the Woodlark people, their land has been taken from them as part of the government processes over time. So they're actually living on state land and they want their land returned. Like most people in Papua New Guinea, land's very important, and it's also the case for Woodlark people. So we've been very supportive of the Woodlark people to have their land returned, and we've worked with them as partners to make that happen. And was one of the key issues that was raised as part of the approval of the mining lease, and it's been an issue inside the memorandum of agreement which has been negotiated recently, and hopefully we can work with them to get that to happen over the next couple of years.
You mentioned initialising the MOA, hopefully
Yes.
in December. How big is that a deal for the mine?
It's a very big milestone. The MOA describes the sharing of benefits for the project and the commitments that the key stakeholders make. So the company's making commitments to the state of Papua New Guinea and to the Woodlark people, the Milne Bay government, and how the royalties is shared, what projects, what programs they'll go to. So crystallising those benefits just helps advance the project and makes everyone understand what will happen when the project goes into production.
12 months from now, where would you like to see the project?
Oh, it'd be wonderful to have project funding in place and have the project being constructed. It's about a 20-month program from funding through to first gold production. So yeah, that's got to be the focus of the company over that period.
Government support and provincial government support, how has that been towards the company?
Yeah, the provincial government are very supportive. The governor, Philemon, has been a strong advocate for the project. He's also been a strong advocate for the Woodlark people getting their land returned. The government processes have been very good with the MRA. We went through a very detailed and clear process to get our mining lease and our environment permit. We are looking for some more support from the MRA right now. We've got an application in to extend one of the conditions about putting the mine into production. We've been working very diligently to do that, but under the current gold price and market conditions, it's a bit difficult. So we're looking for some understanding there and a 24-month extension to that condition in the mining lease, which hopefully will be heard by the MAC in December as well. So we're looking for a positive outcome there.
If all goes according to plan, when can we expect production to commence?
As I said, from the financial investment decision, which there was a lot of talk about that today in oil and gas, you're very close to those decisions, but there's just a few things that are holding a number of different businesses back. From that decision through to first gold production will be about 20 months. Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Resource PNG. If you would like to contribute to the program, get in touch with us via email on resourcepng@mtv.com.pg. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search for Resource PNG. To view this episode again, you can log on to www.mtv.com.pg, where you can find a link to the Resource PNG page. We look forward to your company next time on Resource PNG. Bye for now.